Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Just checking everything out. Making sure I got everything in working order. Check to see who is all here. Who did I miss while I was setting up? What's going on, Play? What's going on, Paris? What's going on, Ghostface? Husky fan? Said you, so you can't post those photos yet. Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be posting them tomorrow. I'll be sharing all the pictures you sent me tomorrow, Paris, for the gameplay stream. And what's going on, Robert? Friday the 13th, Part 2. Terry, she's not dead. I don't necessarily know. I saw what you were talking about with the lip that kind of moves. But it doesn't seem like enough because, I mean, I've seen dead bodies in real life. So, like, I know there are instances where air can escape certain pockets in your body. I know that's probably not intended to be the case, but I know she is counted along with the rest of the bodies. The only person that we can assume is not counted is Paul, because Paul's the one that's missing. Freddy looks really stupid with a green hat. I mean, with his design on here, even the stripes color scheme is kind of flipped. Hey, what's going on, Ranger? What's going on, Ty? So it made some extra room, dug up some art, and made everything look really high end. That's awesome. Judging by what you showed me, Paris, that looks awesome. But for everybody that's commenting right now, I'm catching up on comments, so I'm just going through them from the beginning. So if I haven't mentioned you yet, I'm working my way to it. What's going on, Chuck? What's up, party people? How you doing? Oh. She survived her wounds. I don't know, Robert, because we don't know what wounds she had inflicted. We didn't see what Jason actually did to her. Hey, what's going on, Horror Boy? How you doing? Black Stylo! Glad you can make it, my friend. So you might stream after this one's done, Horror Boy? Cool. You never know, I might drop in. Check it out. You have Wes Craven's New Nightmare on Voodoo. Nice! Good to see that you got it, Husky fan. JG Dark had a senior moment yesterday. He forgot he already did. Yeah, I did. Comes with old age. But you know what? Fuck it. We're going to do a rewatch of Freddy vs. Jason. I said we were going to do it, but fuck it. We're going to do it. I don't care if I did another one. We're going to do it. So doesn't this one ignore 5 and 6? This one treats all the other Nightmare on Elm Streets like movies. This is set in the real world, while the other movies are set in their own movie universe. So, like, for instance, everything that Freddy and Nancy, all those characters did, that's all a movie as we see it in real life. And Robert Englund, Heather Langenkamp, and all of them, now they're being haunted by an entity that has taken the form of Freddy Krueger. It's not actually Freddy Krueger. It's an entity that takes the form of Freddy Krueger. So technically not a Nightmare on Elm Street, but a new nightmare, as Wes Craven titled it accurately. Hey, what's going on, Anthony? JJ Dark. It's JG, man. It's alright, though. It's alright. So you had a power outage earlier today, Ranger. Well, Thankfully, you got it back on just in time. Guess who's back for a stream? Nemesis, welcome back. Which I believe, speaking of Nemesis, I could have swore I just heard something about Resident Evil 3 being remade. Like, can you imagine that? On the RE2 engine. That is going to be fucking fantastic. Yeah, I mean, as a standalone Paris, I don't mind New Nightmare. Because, I mean, I get what they were trying to do. But it does delegitimize the Nightmare series as, okay, anything that comes out. Because then Freddy vs. Jason. Okay, where does this stand as far as New Nightmare? But, I mean, you could always remove New Nightmare and really not have it affect anything. But it's like the veil of reality. So it's like kind of really wonky with that as far as storyline wise. Freddy's design, yeah, I really didn't like it. I didn't like his makeup on there. The claws were pretty good. I do like the glove he had on there though. Hey, what's going on, Devin? Did we ever get the name of this entity? I do not know. I am not entirely sure. Yeah, let me turn off the music real quick. There we go. Oh, shit. Need to be able to see chat. Yeah, I could have swore I saw something Nemesis on one of those, not IGN, but it was like something where they were saying that they didn't get a full-on confirmation that RE3 is being remade, but judging by all the information that they have and from some reputable sources, that chances are it should be coming by next year. Hopefully. Don't quote me on that. Don't put me on the line on that. I'm hoping it comes, but I am not 100% positive. But they'd be stupid if they didn't, because RE2 was fantastic. A fisherman can't win against Michael Myers. You're probably right on that one, Anthony. I think death is going to be here to make us laugh. We can only hope play. I mean, technically, Paris, it's not exactly Freddy Krueger. It's just the entity taking what Wes Craven wrote and twisting it. So, I mean, technically you could run with the New Nightmare concept and the entity take an image from pretty much any property. He could become anything. But pretty much because of, I can't remember how Wes Craven described it in the movie. But I do know the entity was locked within the story, and that's why it took the image of Freddy Krueger. Death isn't here yet, Isabel. Alright, let me jump over to the commentary channel. Where we can see the poster. I still gotta redo the overlays, that way I can get the chat on there. At least in its own little window so you guys can see it. Right now it's just over me. Like, can you see me over? Everybody writing all over my face? mean, a horror version of anything from Disney would probably work really well if given all the right ingredients, so to speak. Hey, how you doing? I'm guessing that's Stashin. That's what I'm gonna call you on Twitch, Stashin. How you doing tonight? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're enjoying everything so far before we get into the movie. This is an awesome poster. Freddy reminds me of a Batman poster. I mean, I can get that. Especially as dark as it is. Like, he looks really scary in this poster, though. I do like it. Part 2, Freddy in the Dream World versus the Freddy... the Freddy. That's what we're going to call the Freddy entity in New Nightmare. It's just the Freddy. That's what it is. In the Dream World. Believe it or not, I think Part 2 Freddy is... Well, even Freddy in general in the movie universe is depicted as more powerful than the New Nightmare Freddy. I mean, they share similar traits, but we don't exactly see everything the New Nightmare Freddy could do. At least I don't think so. So it's kind of... You don't really know, but judging by what he was trying to do to Heather on here, like, I think the movie Freddy is a little bit weaker than the no, the movie Freddy is stronger than the Freddy. How the Evil Dead script coming along? It's not exactly a script. I'm just writing it out as a story. I would love to turn it into a script if I had time to do that much. But it's coming along great. It's I really like where the story's heading. Especially now that I got the demons. They're here. They're attacking everyone. And the motivation from Evil Dead 2, like when they, the ones float, I think it's Ed, that's floating around there, like, we want what is yours life. Since I don't have that canon with this story, I did take that motivation away. And the way I went about the demon's motivation in my story is essentially they want to go into hibernation. Because if you think about it in Evil Dead 1, the tape recorder, Professor Nobi, his wife, assuming that his wife was there. I can't remember if he says he was there with his wife in the first film. But in any stance, he translates the book and the demons come, he dies, and then the demons go dormant again. So the whole thing would be if Professor Nobi didn't have a passage in the book translated to dispel the evil, so to speak, why did they go back into a dormant state by the time Ash and everybody gets there? One would think that they would still be active, and the moment Ash, Shelley, all of them all get to the cabin, all hell would immediately break loose. But it's sort of like, almost like the book is kind of like cursed. Like, once you awaken the monsters from the curse, the whole purpose of the curse is to punish those who have awakened the demons. And that was kind of the concept I was kind of going for. That is why the demons, because I don't call them Deadites in this. They're not called Deadites yet. Because I know that was a Army of Darkness concept. And again, I have all of that as no longer canon to my story. So when we get to the Deadite part, because I do like borrowing from things that have been done in those movies and TV shows, the Deadite name will eventually come, but it won't be in this story. Like, I kind of want to do it like a slow burn that's actually really horror centric and can go over multiple movies and not necessarily just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall to see what sticks. Am I a fan of Neon Maniacs? I haven't watched it yet. Ice-T as Duke? That would be a... I don't know. Ever since I saw Ice-T on the Chappelle Show, even though he's been on serious roles on like the cop shows and stuff like that, every time I see him, I I just think of him as a pimp on the Chappelle Show, and that would kind of fuck with me. But honestly, there'd be no reason, because you can always get the original actor to come back and play him. Because, I mean, Ice-T and him should be very similar in age. Hey, you can't wait to see my Evil Dead story? Devin, I can't wait to get it out. Because I did rewrite it from my first draft to my second. I did rewrite it so that way I could kind of tighten up the story a bit. But alright. Looks like we're about almost 20 minutes in. So we'll be getting started here in a moment. Yeah, play. Feel free. Share whatever you want. And tomorrow, when I do the gameplay stream, after the stream, I will be sharing everything that you guys sent. Everything. All of Paris's pictures, I believe. Can't remember if Ghost sent some pictures or not. But I'll be sharing everything. Well, the thing is with that, Devin, is like I told Paris in a message, Evil Dead, with my Evil Dead story, if Bruce Campbell wanted to be a part of it, that can happen. Because I do have sort of, let's say, if you guys, whoever's seen Evil Dead 2, knows how Professor Noby interacted with Ash and his daughter and all of them, like, in the cabin. I think it was around a little bit past the midway point. He came to them as a ghost. I kind of wanted to do the same thing with Ash, but not necessarily as hologrammy. I wanted to do it a little bit more scary. Sort of whispers, EVPs, and stuff like it. Because, I mean, I have a group of amateur paranormal investigators coming to pretty much investigate the cabin. That's the premise of the story. All that happened in 1982. We're now in present day, and we have a group of YouTube-like amateur paranormal investigators trying to do whatever they can to get famous. And one of the things they come across is the cabin. And they go there and they investigate it. They find the book, which there's a way that I have where the book is still there. And how it heals itself from being burned in the fireplace after Ash throws it in at the end of the first film. Yeah, it's always nice to see movies go back to their horror roots, Nemesis. It's extremely good to see every time a movie does that. That's kind of the reason why I loved Halloween 2018 so much, because it went back to the 78 roots. It didn't capture the same feel or tone that the 78 movie had, because it did have to up the ante, because 78 is a bit of a slow burn. And I don't think you would get a lot of the general audience to stick around for that kind of movie. But in sense, because Michael was so forthcoming with the kills on there, it did have a bit of a Friday the 13th flavor to it, which I really enjoyed. he at least has to say groovy. Unfortunately, in my story, he doesn't. Devin. Just because that is another thing that came from part 2. Doesn't mean one of the characters that would eventually take the mantle of the lead from Ash and move forward won't say it. But I don't think I probably would have that, just because I feel like it's trying to replace Bruce Campbell, and I don't want to do that. Like, if I wanted to replace Bruce Campbell, I would have just wrote a complete remake of Evil Dead. Not exactly, Todd. My original story kind of, it takes place at the end of the original Evil Dead film, where Ash throws the Book of the Dead into a fireplace. And my story, Evil Dead 2, An Army of Darkness, and Ash versus the Evil Dead, does not happen.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it's kind of what I wanted to capitalize, Nemesis, because we don't know if we're ever going to get Bruce Campbell back as Ash. So the way I wrote the story was to move on from the Ash character, having it at the end of the first one when the Deadite entity breaks through the front door of the cabin and he screams. We know in Evil Dead 2 it picks him up, flings him through the woods, and he eventually gets possessed and breaks out of it. In my story, that's the end of Ash. He dies. Like, his spirit is still at the camp along with all of Ash's friends. But ultimately, he ends up dying.
What are you watching?
Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
I don't know what that is. You never showed me it, which I should probably. You showed me every other horror movie, but yet you did not show me this one. You freaking dragged me in the room saying, Abby, look, it's Chucky. Look, it's Annabelle. Look, it's Jason. Look, it's Michael Myers.
Wait till we get to Chucky and Annabelle.
What?
Wait till we get to Chucky and Annabelle.
No, because you said no.
Why?
I knew you were going to do Chucky, and that was the question I was trying to avoid with you, to do Annabelle. Because I knew you were probably going to do it, so then I just tried to avoid it.
Well, it's going to come eventually.
No. Well, I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be cursed from Annabelle and stuff. I want to beat Annabelle probably for Halloween.
Like, he could be the Obi-Wan of Evil Dead. That's kind of the intention with Ash.
Hi, Truck. I'm excited for Thanksgiving because I want some pumpkin pie and some turkey. Hungry.
See, Play wants me to do Chucky.
I can imagine you doing this the whole time. Hi, Chucky.
I can always break out the doll.
No, stop.
You don't want to play with the Chucky doll?
No.
Why?
I came in here and I thought it moved, so I ran out.
It does move.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's moving right now.
Shut up. No, because I came in here to get batteries and stuff, and then I thought I saw the Chucky box move, so I hurried up and ran.
Oh my gosh.
I almost peed myself because I was so scared.
We need to do an Evil Dead marathon at some point in the future. Oh, it's coming, Nemesis. It's coming. I just wish I could play it on here for you guys. I mean, I guess I could always do a Facebook watch party. I don't know how that works as far as copyright goes.
Annabelle versus Chucky. I think Annabelle.
But only if you dress up as Chucky.
I think Annabelle will personally win.
Alright, but you need to get to bed. You got school.
But I'll be on tomorrow.
Maybe.
No, you said that I'll be on tomorrow.
Maybe.
No, you said I would.
Go.
Obi-Wan.
All right, guys, we're gonna get into the movie, assuming that you guys all have your copies ready.
You did not even watch the movie yet?
No, we haven't watched the movie yet. We're just starting.
I thought you were already halfway into the movie.
Oh my gosh, you are squeaky. You are so squeaky, it's messing with my internet. Hey, what's going on, Machete? How you doing? My second favorite Freddy sequel. I mean, I don't technically consider it a sequel, just because it, I think, what was it? The definition of a sequel continues a narrative. This doesn't continue the Nightmare narrative. It's sort of its own thing. So I don't necessarily consider it a sequel. It uses some characters based on Wes Craven, but it's about as much of a sequel as the Scream Season 3 TV series is a sequel to the Scream movies. Like, it's not exactly following that narrative. You don't have the movie, Devin. I think it is on Amazon or something. So, hold up, I'm not ready. Don't worry, Machete, I'll give you a couple minutes. More Ghost Abby. She unfortunately has to go to bed. Abby going to cook whole Dark family Thanksgiving dinner. If she could cook, I'd probably let her. But I like having a house, and I do not want everything burned down. Right, just let me know when you guys got your copies ready. Be that YouTuber. Yeah, just send me a super chat whenever you guys are ready. But if you were a voice inside my head, Devin, man, I wouldn't even know what to do. I wouldn't know. I guess it depends on what you'd be telling me. Surprisingly, Wes Craven is a good actor. Well, you figure he's a writer, and a pretty good one at that. And with even just writing my stuff, not putting myself at all on the level of Wes Craven or anybody like that. But when you write something, you tend to continuously read over and over and over again. So you know the voice pattern that you want lines read in. So I think Wes Craven had a pretty good idea with how he wanted each line to sound, especially lines that he would write for himself. Oh, thank you, the Nerdvana. How you doing? Glad you enjoyed the green screen. It is all part of the camp we call Juicy. Become a member. Not to sound culty or anything like that. So my copy is ready, although I have to take a shower. So are you going to be watching your copy while taking a shower? Like listening and watching the text? Great! Awesome, Nirvana! We always enjoy more to add to the juiciness. All praise the juice. Oh, we all love Camp Juicy, Chuck. We're all Camp Juicy lovers here, even the ones that aren't here right now. Can someone pass the Kool-Aid? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But that's only on Sunday nights. We get the Kool-Aid in early. And by Tuesday, that's when you start feeling the effect. We ain't got that cheap shit that they have in other cults. We got that good JG Darhk berry juice here. I feel like if we all join Camp Juicy, JG will just murder us all. That's on the anniversary. You can't be giving away spoilers like that, Play. Can't be doing it. But alright, guys. Let's get into the movie. Assuming everybody is ready now. We all ready? We got our copies of New Nightmare in, ready to go. So, anybody joining, this is how this commentary will work for commentary and copyright purposes. I'm going to give a countdown. When I say play, you hit play, I'll hit play, we'll watch the movie together, and hopefully if I comment on something on the movie, it should match up with what you see and should make maybe a smidget of sense. Feel free to chat. I'll be talking to you guys as the movie goes on. It's not going to be just a strict commentary of just the movie alone. Because, I mean, really, guys, how many of these commentaries have been just strictly about the movie? It's essentially, you guys are my friends. We're all sitting on the couch and we're talking amongst each other. I can't English. We are talking amongst each other about horror and pretty much anything. Like, what should I do? Take a shower, come back, or what? I mean, let's see. How long is the movie? It's just barely under 2 hours, Machete. I think you can bask in your funkiness a little bit for the stream. No, seriously, if you want to take a shower, trust me, I understand. Movie's about 2 hours, so you can hit play when I hit play. Go take a shower, come back. You shouldn't miss a beat. Unless your movie skips or stops for whatever reason, then you just hit me up and I'll give you the timestamp. Alright. So, we're going to give the countdown starting now. And we're going to be doing this and turn that off just to be sure there's no copyright infringement. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Let's begin. I still got my glove. I do like they start off with the old sort of the same intro from part 1. It's an angry robotic hand. Let's prank the camp across the lake. That's a great idea. Also, don't forget to hit that like button to make sure you guys are notified of these streams and videos to come. Especially who knows what changes are going to slip in with all these YouTube guideline changes. Dude just cut off his own damn head. Pretty much. Like trying to turn Freddy into a cyborg. I kind of figured there wasn't going to be a whole lot of kills in this Horror Boy. At least like fodder. Like there should have been probably more fodder kills with like people that you really wouldn't care about. I was kind of surprised they killed Heather's husband on here. But did they actually stay dead even after everything? Or is that never really said? George Romero directed a Friday the 13th. I don't think he necessarily would fit with that kind of story. He's done movies similar to Friday the 13th. At least in my mind, I think it's similar. And it wasn't really that good. Uber Freddy. Pretty much, yeah. I would probably go with Super Freddy Metaluna, and welcome. Glad to see you made it back. As you as well, Bunny. Good to see you in the stream as well. Although, wouldn't it be kind of hard for the glove to like jump on and like kind of stab you, and once the blades are in, to actually put any more force behind it? Have I seen the trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog? I saw the redesign with him in the trailer. That looked better than what monstrosity they had in that original trailer. Not much happening, Metaluna. Just got the glove on, watching some new Nightmare. How's your night going? Old Sonic looked like Nick Cage. Pretty, I wouldn't say pretty much, but nice to see you as well, Metaluna. Glad you guys, speaking of you like you're a group of people, unless you're a group of people. Fuck it, yeah, you guys. But glad you made it to the stream. Sam from Trick or Treat versus Chucky from Child's Play 2. From specifically Child's Play 2, I think Sam would win. Do I think the Harley Quinn TV show will show Poison Ivy and Harley's relationship in the comics? Likely. I think it will. It's been hinting at that. Yeah, I remember your comments from the old, like, my first theories that I did, Metaluna. It's always nice to see you in the stream just for that reason. Like, one of the first. Especially that kind of earthquake nemesis, where it's like fucking taking shit off your walls. I remember I slept through an earthquake that happened a few years back here. I just thought it was a big ass truck driving down my street. Apparently, it was a tiny earthquake. I did not know that, Ranger. Did I see your last two messages, Devin? I do not think so. Let me check. Oh, I see. Yeah, teaching the baby to hate you and cutting out pictures of you that say bad. I'll take it. I think you're likely going to see them push the envelope for the Harley Quinn cartoon as high as... I don't think you're going to see outright nudity or anything like that, if that's what you're looking for. I don't think you're going to see that. But I think you're going to see a fair good amount of violence and possibly their relationship evolving similar to what it has in the comics. Will I be doing a theory on tying the first 4 Texas Chainsaw movies? I'm going to try. Especially since Texas Chainsaw is the next series that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be watching those, and I'm going to be trying to do my best to formulate any kind of theories that I can from Texas Chainsaw. Especially trying to tie in everything together. So they lived... Oh, I live on the streets they filmed on. I realized first time watching this. That's awesome. I remember when John Waters does a lot of filming in Baltimore when I lived there. And a lot of the filming locations that he used was close to where I lived. One of his movies, I mean, granted, it's not a great movie. Cecil B. Demented, I was actually on the set for. Not as like an extra or anything. I was just a bystander looking on. But I got to see like Stephen Dorff and Melanie Griffith and stuff like that. It's like pretty cool. Especially because I just watched Gate, The Gate, a little bit before that. And that was after he did Blade. So it made it even cooler just to see kid Stephen Dorff and post-Blade Stephen Dorff. Does that mean that Child's Play is next after Texas Chainsaw? It's a good possibility, judging by all the voting on the page. Texas Chainsaw Next Generation Illuminati theory. Possibly. Could be possibly coming. Leatherface in Next Gen is a bit... Yes, he is. Greatly. When you let Renee Zellweger not laugh, but yell at you, and you listen, Leatherface lost all credibility at that point. We're at the part where Nancy is getting she was getting the prank call, and she just answered the phone again, and it's her limo driver getting ready to take her to, I guess, the talk show that she goes on. Basically, Dylan's babysitter just came. Timestamp wise, we're about 12 minutes and 10 seconds into the movie. Your voice in your theory series is haunting and articulate, and the music is creepily beautiful in the background. Silent Hill, Pan's Labyrinth. The music I get is mostly a collection of copyright-free music. I try to mix them up from time to time, and I do try to give credit for the music in each video. Should watch a movie called Furry Nights with me in it. Spoiler, I die in the end. I mean, I'll check it out. I never heard of it, but I'll check it out. Why not? I'll give anything a chance. I mean, the designs of Freddy play, they're all subjective. I mean, this could be your favorite design. Just because I don't like it doesn't make you wrong. It's just opinions. Could be pretty interesting, Daz. That could be very interesting. Something to definitely look into. Because can you imagine dropping part 2, Jason, and to Friday the 13th part 6 and seeing how that would play out? You might be on to something. Is that Robert on the phone? I think the first call was Robert. I don't think the second one was. I did not know anything about that, Ty. I mean, I would assume that when they do auditions for any movie, they probably see hundreds of actors that you never even knew in a million years were interested in a particular role. That's funny, Devin. I'll definitely check it out, Bunny. I'll definitely check that out. Part 2 is my favorite Freddy. And to me, the definitive design. That's the reason why that's the costume for Freddy I want to put together. I love Freddy's design on there. It's so much simpler than what they did even in Part 1. Like the melted face kind of look that he has and the gloss that he has to it. It's just everything about it just clicked to me. A Christmas crossover time? I mean, anything's possible. Exactly, Metaluna. Can you imagine that? Like when Jason gets crawls out of the grave in his part two Jason and gets hit in the back of the head, he just drops to the ground. I wasn't expecting that. See, I like his makeup there. Like it's actually even better than what they did on Freddy's Dead. Heather as Pamela, that could be a very interesting casting. Hey, what's going on, Buzzkiller? How you doing? Say it's on Tubi Free Movies. I'll check it out, buddy. I'll check it out. It's interesting because you can hear Freddy's voice in that scene without the production that they do to it to make it deeper. For anybody that ever wants to do a Robert Englund Freddy impression, that scene would probably be the scene that you want to watch. Oh, that sucks, play. But I mean, dogs tend to do that from time to time. That's why I keep my display and stream room shut down to any of the animals in the house, including the children. You are all my children now. It could be interesting venture, Ty. Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie, Metaluna. I say that a lot because I like all the movies. It's when continuity gets fucked up in movies, that's when I start looking at that, and that's where I start to dislike things. Like Freddy's Dead. The whole aspect of going from Freddy needing Jacob or Alice to get into other people's dreams, and Kristen before that, other people not that aren't a part of the Elm Street groups that Freddy was able to attack. And Freddy's Dead, he was able to attack anybody that fell asleep. In Freddy vs. Jason, he was able to attack anybody that knew about him, which is a departure from the original continuity that we got in the first three films. Did I watch Simon, King of the Witches yet? I have not. Not yet. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I did get myself a digital copy of the extended cut of Dawn of the Dead. I made sure to get that last night as soon as the stream was over. I think if I do anything around Christmas, I may do Silent Night, Deadly Night. Maybe. I mean, at that point, if you drink something, you start feeling dizzy and falling asleep, and the last thing you see is Bill Cosby. There's not really much you can do at that point. Just hope that he's gentle. And he better hope he's not there when I wake up. I remember seeing that, Daz, where Johnny Depp actually wanted to be in this movie, and just he was never asked, which understandably so, because I mean Wes Craven's pretty modest, and I can see why he would think that Johnny would have outgrown the slasher films, especially considering how Jamie Lee Curtis treated slasher movies after Halloween. It wasn't until Halloween H2O that she decided she wanted to come back, and she kind of looked down on that. Look at Kevin Bacon with Friday the 13th. So there's kind of a trend there of actors that get big that start with slasher movies and ultimately just don't want anything to do with them. I remember hearing that somewhere, Ty. But, like, I mean, pretty much he just latched onto the gimmick of Jackass. And that kind of helped him kickstart whatever career I guess you could say he kind of had. Oh, no worries, Play. No worries. If I do any kind of streaming around Christmas or on Christmas, which on Christmas is highly unlikely, but if it's around Christmas, all the streams will stay on the channel for at least a week. So that way you guys can check them out. Gameplay streams, I take off after like a week. The commentaries, they all stay on. I don't know why my voice is so echoey. Ghost Abby? I do not know. Might be just for me speaking in the room. Do I like the anniversary cut of Night of the Living Dead, where they cut the preacher with a lisp? I kind of do. I do like that. Like, I enjoyed that aspect of it a lot. Yeah, Amanda's Ghost Abby. Yeah, I think Ghost Abby just needs to clean out her ears. Hey, what's going on, Surgical Duke? How you doing? Say, just came here to watch the stream. Well, welcome. Oh, I'm like hitting the mic and everything. Ugh. I'm getting reckless over here. Gotta calm down. Take a breath. All right, I'm good. Hezbollah, how do you just randomly break your nose? Like, what the hell was he doing? I mean, you extreme YouTubing over there. Are all the people in the stream in my family? No, just Ghost Abby. Ghost Abby and Amanda. When she's here. Everyone else, just viewers that I gain from subbing to the channel or that discover the stream when I stream. What would you think about Disney doing an animated version of Dracula, Frankenstein, Phantom of the Opera? If they did it, like, literally a accurate telling of each book, I wouldn't have a problem with it. That doesn't mean add anything or take out anything. Like, you give me an accurate telling of it and make it entertaining. Because Dracula itself is a fucking entertaining book. but I think there's there's no real reason to really adapt Dracula again because we got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Granted, there are some differences from that movie to the book, but to me, I feel like it's one of the best adaptations of Dracula ever. Is Devin your Uncle Joe? You never know. It is the internet. Wonder why I can get a plushie Rex to put on this one. I want one too. I mean, they have to have people that make them somewhere. I know there's got to be an Etsy store or YouTube store somewhere that makes Rex. Well, I mean, it is Disney Play. Right, especially if they put that Disney logo on it, you're almost guaranteed for it to be comedic in some way. But I mean, it's whatever. I'll try it out. Like I'm here via the Puppet Master video. Like which Puppet Master video? Because I know I did a review on the reboot that they did. And then I have, I think, like 2 or 3 different Puppet Master videos. What Puppet Master video did you come from? Yes, Abby, I know. Pizza. I know. It is your war call. That is true. YouTube family. I mean, everybody that's here is part of the YouTube family. And I need the new Nightmare glove. If I was doing the new Nightmare costume, I probably would get one. Oh. What is this? Oh, thank you for that, Ghost Abby. Turkey dinner. I came out of nowhere. It kind of scared me for a bit. Pizza! No, I think if they were going to do Dracula, I would want them to do an accurate representation with how he's described in the book. Oh my gosh, Abby, what are you doing? Rock taco? This is like madness. Taco pizza. Meowcaroon. You are killing me, Abby. So I think that was the other thing. They did a little bit too much with a lot of the effects on here. Instead of giving us really nightmarish kind of scenes. But I guess that's kind of what Wes Craven was going for. Just like quick kills from Freddy. But he like completely fucking gutted him. Said Disney's Dracula would be Hotel Transylvania. Probably something very similar. And Soul Pizza. I did make mention of Heather's husband being gutted with the claws. Right now, she's at the part where the cops are pretty much telling her that her husband had died. Say green fedora. It's a nice touch for Freddy. I mean, I didn't mind it at all because I kind of knew this was a different take on Freddy. And they wanted to distinguish this Freddy from the other ones in design. So I got all that. So I understand the green fedora, the sort of flipped in changing in the tone of the red and green on the sweater. The boots that he has, the trench coat, the glove, all of that. My guess, which this is probably a theory that I could do a video on, but Daz, my theory on that is yes, this does take place in the Scream universe. Yeah, I can see it now, Horror Boy. That's understandable, Daz. YouTube's known for doing that, Horror Boy. Every once in a while, my entire stream will freeze on one of my devices that I'm watching on. I'm going to have to restart the whole thing. Luckily, my thing that I'm recording on, or streaming on in general, I haven't had any issues with that. Look at the gashes. Yeah, that'd make me throw up too. So after this one, the topic will be more brains. I love Return of the Living Dead. Especially part one. Part one, that's such a good movie. Yeah, I remember that on the NECA Toys Ranger. For the clothed trench coat that he has that has the color scheme on the inside. You heard Ghost Abby? Sub height. No, we're chill. We're chilled out. I wouldn't want any kind of situation that happened with Markiplier where anyone is like spamming emotes and everyone gets their fucking channel taken down. Yeah, because this was the scene that they wanted Johnny Depp in at the funeral. But they were too scared to ask because they thought he was too busy and he would have loved to fucking do it. Yeah, horrible. I didn't see anything until you asked if I could see it. Sub hype. Ooh. Those things are pretty unforgiving, too. Oh, that's an interesting question, too, Des. So why wasn't there a lot of dream scenes in this one? That's what I was wondering. I mean, it's implied that Heather's husband fell asleep and that's how he died. And Heather being knocked out here, this is why she's seeing all this. But it wasn't scary enough to me. Compared to what we've seen in the series thus far, I think Wes could have probably have wrote a lot more scarier nightmares in this one. Like, isn't Ghost Abby supposed to be sleeping like you said? She's 2 floors under me. She knows she's far enough that pretty much I cannot get to her without leaving the stream for a bit. However, because she doesn't want to go to bed, she may be getting a visit from Chucky. What's that, Chucky? You want to come out the box and play? Yeah, Chucky's coming. Be prepared, Ghost Abby. He wants to be your friend to the end. AG, can Wes Craven tell the future? I mean, you can kind of surmise certain things just from patterns. Sometimes you get right. Like, every now and again, just predict it.
No, Chucky!
No, Chucky.
No, Chucky!
He's your friend to the end. He's coming.
No, Chucky! No, Chucky!
You better get to bed then.
But I like being on stream and annoying you. Rock friend!
What's my thought on the gloves on this? I kind of think it gives him more of a scarier, demonic look than what he had in the original. But from a stance of a child killer, like if we're talking about this in the main continuity, I don't think it works because I don't see that Freddy having that much ingenuity to create that kind of glove. The glove he has in the main continuity fits for his character. But it definitely looks good. I like it. Out of Romero's Dead trilogy, which is my favorite? Dawn. I love Dawn. Dawn and Night are very... I like Day, but not as much as Night and Dawn. This is Abby abuse. Thank you, Daz. Thank you. Like, is it me or does Dylan kind of have the Jacob vibes from part 5? I mean, I wouldn't mind Cameron Romero continuing any of the Living Dead series or the Dead series, because the Living Dead series is something completely different. As long as he goes back to practical effects, because that's kind of the thing that killed George's later movies, to me, in my mind anyways, was he opted for more digital than practical, and it did not sit well with me. Yeah, the Day of the Dead soundtrack is really good. Hey, Death, how you doing? Ghost Abby has been waiting for you, Death. She's been stalking the stream, risking an interaction with Chucky. Like, I don't mind the way Freddy looks in this one, Horror Boy, because I get that, like I said, they wanted to differentiate how he looks on here as opposed to the other movies, which is why they gave Robert 2 different makeups. Like, we got the makeup of him on the talk show, and then we get the makeup of the Fredity that I call the Freddy entity. We get that just to show that this is not Freddy Krueger. This is not Freddy. It's a entity that is taking the image of Freddy and kind of twisting it into its own rendition. So I didn't mind the look in that sense, but it's still nowhere near my favorite look of even what's supposed to be the character. Part 4, Freddy versus Part 4, Jason. I would probably say Freddy. I think Freddy would win that one. Said the remake glove looks more realistic in my opinion. I mean, the remake glove was also something that looks like it could have been in the first movie too. But I still prefer the crudeness of the original glove. Because, I mean, the original glove looks like something, if I knew how to weld things together, that I could probably make. Welcome back, Devin. Hope all the blood is cleaned up. You're like spraying your juiciness all over the place. Y'all should know that by Wednesday, I should have a fresh start. I hope. I hope so too, Dad. Hopefully things are coming around the way you hope they do. You had the doctor check. Where'd you go? That you got a doctor to check it that quickly? Dude, I'd freak out. I'd almost die seeing my kids doing that. Like him getting up on top of that rocket would fucking... Oh my gosh. Hey, how you doing? What was that? Sabinet? Am I pronouncing that right? I'm just gonna call you Q Corner. Trying to pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it because I know I don't want to be that dick that butchers your name. So I'm just gonna call you Corner. But how you doing? So you're from Brazil. Oh, okay. How you doing in Brazil? How's it going there? Are you enjoying the stream? To do a flip. Oh my gosh. That's kind of sad to hear. Like when your kid's like standing on top of the structure and he lands and you catch him, like God wouldn't take me. What has your kid that fucked up that he wants to go to God or anything like that? That to me kind of hit more than any of the things that Freddy did. Or the Freddy did, I should probably say. Yeah, I think with streaming on your computer, Devin, I think you have to have so many subscribers to actually do that. You can stream on your mobile device, but you can't stream on PC. Do I like Brazil? I like everybody. I like everybody, Corner. I don't care what corner of the world you're from. I have no qualms about liking anybody. We are Legion. We are juicy Legion. He always hated the kid in this one. I mean, I remember him from like Full House and stuff like that around the time this came out. I remember I hated him as a character on Full House when I did watch that. And that kind of bled over into this movie. But now that I watch it now, this many decades removed from it, I don't mind him. It's always nice seeing Robert out of makeup, though. Out of makeup painting. You wonder if he really does that at home. I heard the crows and instantly thought I was playing Dead by Daylight. At times, I will say, New Nightmare felt like an MTV movie from the 90s. I can see that. I can definitely see that. So you're going to watch The Shining, Ready or Not, and Knives Out. That's a hell of a watch list, Dev. All right, Robert. Now put that painting on eBay and sell that shit for thousands. Said not the actor, but the kid in the movie. I can see that too. But I guess he's trying to portray himself as damaged, which would probably have hit more if he was, a happy-go-lucky kid at the beginning, and then his father dies and it has an impact on him. And the longer the movie goes on, the more you see the impact on him that starts turning him into this, like, strange kid that's just doing random shit. So you're in Germany, Zygodoon. How's it there? I knew a person from Germany a long, long, long time ago. I met when I was in Atlanta. Yeah, I think I saw something similar Zygo doing with John Saxon, with him in an Italian movie. Yeah, that's definitely true, Daz. It definitely made Robert look like he had a mansion and fucking Hollywood and all kinds of shit. And Heather like this big time movie star. I could definitely agree with that. A long time ago, Ghost Abby. Way before you were born. Before you popped out of your dinosaur egg. I don't know if Robert actually painted that. I really do not know. Yeah, Ghost Abby is enjoying her ghost face cosplays being on my Instagram, duh. It's making her feel very special. It's like a whole ton of fucking earthquakes. Just throwing Heather all over the place. Hey, what's going on, Flintstone? How you doing? Abby, please sneak up on him, scare him on the stream. She already tried. She's in danger of having Chucky visit her. Yeah, Wes Craven was pretty good in that. But that's like I said, like with him writing this, like he knows how he wants his lines delivered. So I would probably expect nothing less. I think with time play, with Freddy in the dream world and feeling godlike, it kind of made him want to play with his victims more. That's why I think he turned to being a bit more comedic. Uh, yeah, that would kind of make me throw up too. Yeah, that's fucking nasty too. Ugh. It's like he doesn't need to see a doctor. He needs a tranquilizer dart. You're killing me. You're gonna give Isabel an aneurysm. Use the Batman voice changer to scare her. I would have to hook it all up. That's not just something you flip on and off. You gotta. That's a process to put on with the suit. So I just opened mint ice cream. I gotta stop eating. I want some ice cream badly. Because, I mean, in this, when Freddy starts coming into the reality, or the Freddy starts coming into the reality, John Saxon ends up turning into Donald, and she starts embracing Nancy. Does that mean that the Freddy is actually Robert Englund? Or did Robert Englund just disappear? Did Wes Craven just disappear? Shit does. I need $28 worth of food. I want $28 worth of food. If only YouTube's pay scale thing wasn't set up the way it was and I actually got the money as I stream, I'd be getting $28 worth of food right now. But they have like sort of a threshold that you have to reach per amount of money to actually send you. And right now I'm still waiting on like a PIN number that's supposed to be coming. That could take upwards of a month, which is like very weird. I didn't know any of this when I got into YouTube, but guess it's all part of the game. But as a alternate for anybody that wants to donate to the stream, I do have a link down bottom to my stream elements that actually hooks up to my PayPal. So if you guys want to donate anything that way, so that way I can get the money that you guys want to donate to support the channel quicker, that'd be a good way to do it. Plus, YouTube takes a third of whatever you guys send, and I think Stream Elements maybe takes like 5 or 10%. So that's definitely the preferred way. Although I do like hearing the super chats. She's spelling a new word. I saw a couple of letters popping up on there. All that will be explained in Dylan's new nightmare. Really? I'm looking forward to seeing that. Especially the way Dave McRae has been shown to play Freddy. I think he's going to be a really good Freddy. Do I have patrons? Patreons? I have a Patreon, yes. I haven't really added much to it, just because I didn't think there was a lot of interest for it. But it is, I believe, in the links to the, in my links to, below in the description. I should have everything down there from Patreon to the Stream Elements link and stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Des. Thank you. I mean, if they do, I give you and them credit. Like, anything, like, I'd be entirely, eternally grateful. I mean, look at the super chats I get from, like, you guys. Like, I'm blown away every time I get that. And I can just imagine I start getting, like, loot crates or some shit. So I'm assuming that means that Robert is missing. I'd be an interesting narrative to take, Ty, if they did continue that. I mean, all the letters put together, Isabel. I mean, is that, like, Is it like a crossword puzzle, or can we put it together in different ways? Are those the only options of letters? And is it in that order? Is it backwards? Can we do multiple things with the letters? The only Freddy should be you. You're better than Dave. No offense to him. I mean, I'm no actor. Dave is. I mean, I greatly appreciate the support on that. But I think in that sense, if you had to choose between me and Dave, I'd probably go with Dave. But then again, I've never had any kind of acting professions or well, professions, acting experience, if I can speak correctly. I've never had any kind of acting experience or anything like that that could ultimately say I'm a good actor or not. I'm not trained in it. I do know that. As far as Freddy, I know how I would want him to be, but I don't know if I can convey that on camera. All right, Ghost Abby, you get the bed. Freddy is just a human pizza. Come here, give Papa Death a hug. I love that. I'm sorry, every time I hear it, I love that. JG, little Izzy spelled Dada. Isn't that just cute? That is adorable. Now, how much of a dick does that make Wes Craven, knowing that this was always a possibility? Okay, so he didn't know at first. But then, if Wes Craven is only doing all of this because of a dream that he had, how is he so knowledgeable on everything about the demon? Or the entity, or whatever you could, I guess you could say. So JG versus Ghost Abby, DBD stream night? If she played if she played DBD, I wouldn't mind it. Sadly, she does not. She is too scared. Zombie run. I always wanted to do a zombie run. Never had the chance to. What would you do if the Friday the 13th lawsuit ends and they add more content to the game? I think it's highly unlikely that we're ever going to see any more content for Friday the 13th the game. Unless it's good to go right now and all they have to do is put it in the store, I think it's very, very unlikely that we see any content to the game. I think it's more likely that we'll probably in time for next gen consoles and PC, we'll probably get a sequel to the game that builds on the engine from the first one. That would be my theory of what's to happen. What's the news on the new Freddy movie? Only that they're taking pitches. That's the last thing I heard. So I did share some of my ideas and comments section for Dave McRae and Drum Dums and stuff like that. Trying to get my stuff a little bit out there, but sadly, I don't think it's going to ever really be picked up. I would just like to see some of my ideas kind of used for that if they were going to do something that brings back Robert. I doubt they're going to go through that. I think it's going to be another reboot, but you never know. I don't even want credit. I just want them to steer the franchise in the right direction. I mean, at this point, she's done been in so many earthquakes, she should have shaking baby syndrome. I see what you're doing, Death. I see it. Oh my god. It's weird why they do stuff like that, Flynn. It's really, really, really weird. It's like, even when they get fake copyright claims on YouTube, it's really weird why they do stuff like that. His green is very prominent in that sweater. Man, she's beating the hell out of him with everything that's glass in that room. Not gonna lie, that looks good there. The makeup does look good in the dark. But then again, a lot of Freddy's makeups were supposed to be seen just in low-key lighting. What the hell have I been typing? I wasn't sure, Play. I wasn't sure. I seen it, but I wasn't sure. I mean, I guess I could try pitching it straight to him. I just said I gotta find the information as far as who to talk to, but it's very unlikely. I mean, my last experience talking to anybody in the movie industry was talking to the people at Platinum Dunes when they were doing Friday the 13th. And I believe their response to me was essentially, we got this covered. See, with that Metaluna, the way I would go about wanting to do a prequel is I would want to do my story first and have where Freddy becomes younger with the new actor, and then do the prequel with the new actor to really tie everything together. Because, I mean, de-aging CGI, yeah, it comes pretty far, but you're talking working miracles. The way you would have to do Robert Englund on there, you would need someone with his body type and his body language, and you're essentially putting his face on that actor. Which can be done. They did it in Terminator. But I don't know how much of a nightmare budget that would soak up. Pretty much. Everyone, even non-horror fans, know who the fuck Freddy Krueger is. They might not know his backstory, but they know who the fuck Freddy Krueger is. Him or Jason. You can see Freddy and you can see Jason. You know exactly who they are. Similar as like looking at Batman. Like you know it's instant recognition. Yeah, that'd be kind of freaky. So what happened at Platinum Dunes? Ultimately, they just told me they got this. They're gonna do essentially what they're going to do with Friday the 13th. That's essentially it. It was like email exchange real quick, but not really much conversating. Oh, did you, Daz? Oh shit! No, it's an independent cosplay magazine that I'm on, Cosplay Alliance, which I happen to still have right here. Yeah, Cosplay Alliance magazine. I wouldn't say Vogue, but I mean it's a good quality magazine. Have I ever wanted to do a Pinhead cosplay? Yes, I have. Two things, though. The way I've looked at silicone masks for Pinhead, and none of them look anywhere near as good or close to Doug Bradley that I would like. So that would only mean makeup effects. And I do not know anybody that could do that for me. At least in my area. But I would love to do a Pinhead cosplay. Christian Bale as Tommy. I think he could play a damaged Tommy that I have in my mind. Like, I think Christian Bale could definitely do that. Can we have your autograph? I mean, if you guys want, I can always put something up that you guys can always like purchase with an autograph. I could do prints of pictures that I can autograph for you. I mean, if you guys are serious, I can definitely put them up in maybe some kind of like print store or something like that. I'd be down for that. It's like this whole like thing where people wanting merchandise and stuff for me is still new to me. So I never really thought anything about like doing autographs or anything like that. But I'd definitely be down for it. Why you sad right now, Play? Yeah, go. About to call you cool. Buzz. I thought about it. It has been something that crossed my mind, especially when I was doing the graphics for the T-shirts in my merch store. But it always comes into my mind like, is anybody really gonna buy this? Like, if I do prints of me in cosplay, is anybody gonna really buy it? Like, I mean, I would love to do it, but I mean, my thing is, there would have to be a demand for it for me to do it. Yeah, that's some fucked up shit. I mean, she decked the shit out of her. Gabe, how the fuck are you doing, my friend? I don't know why my alerts aren't working. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now I'm seeing it. Oh, yes, we did, Gabe. We missed you a lot. Always good to have you back in the stream, my friend. And thank you for the super chat. So your dad told you your grandpa died. Holy shit, man. My condolences. Sorry to hear that. Oh, well, shit. That's awesome. Daz. Glad to see I'm making it internationally. Seeing the blood like filling up the bandages like that, that's oh, I would hate to hear that. Anybody trying to put my kids in foster care, that'd be like such like that'd be such an insult. See, now there in the light, Freddy's makeup looks terrible. Really, really terrible. He looks like a melted Al Bundy. So, is this better than the first three sequels? No. No. Not in my eyes. But then again, it is subjective, like I said before. So to me, I would say no. It's not as good as the first three sequels at all. Oh, skin the cat. Can I make JG stiletto heels on your store for my wife? Unfortunately, I don't think Teespring has that for me to make. The moment they do, Zygo, it's in there. So did she just stay stuck to the ceiling? Oh, never mind. There it goes. I was gonna say, if she stays stuck to the ceiling, wouldn't anybody like just coming out like, what the fuck is that? I mean, I wouldn't put it past Christian Bale, Ty. I wouldn't put it past him just because, I mean, Christian Bale's a bigger actor since he did American Psycho, but he did do American Psycho. And a movie like Friday the 13th, I think he'd probably do. If I could cast anybody as Batman that has not played Batman before, who would it be? Carl Urban. That was my original choice for Batman back before Ben Affleck. JG, Thanos as Tommy. You mean the actor that played Thanos? I think that could work. I think he could play, especially after seeing him as Cable. Like, I think that could work. Said Elm Street 2 gets a lot of hate, but is your second favorite. You're not alone there, Metaluna. Not alone there at all. It actually rivals Part 1 to me. That's how much I love Part 2. Alright, now that's just a cheesy effect. The way he forms in the clouds could have been done so much better. And it's like, if the entity can do all that, why didn't he just say fuck it and kill him? I can't remember. Didn't they say they did this on a green screen? That'd be a pretty cool concept play. Tommy is the Shaggy of Friday the 13th. Essentially, yeah. But I hope the next time we see Tommy on film, they kind of incorporate a little bit of what happened to him in the Tommy tapes from the game. Too bad the cars at Pet Cemetery weren't this good at driving. You know, I never put that together, Black Stylo. Because isn't he the same kid from Pet Cemetery? Am I wrong about that? Or do all the little kids actors of this time frame look the same to me? See, when I first watched this, I never picked up until she said something to him about him calling her Nancy. Zygo, that would be where I disagree with you. Especially with Joker and Batman. Yeah, kids love them, but read the Batman comics. Joker, the movie might have been dark, but it's nothing compared to the Joker from the comics. Batman in the Dark Knight trilogy may have been dark, but it's nothing compared to the comics. Like, if they want a Batman world that's geared towards kids, you're going to end up getting a recreation of the 66 Batman, and I definitely don't want that. Like Freddy doing a little bit of a Nosferatu reference through the shadows. Cloud Freddy is the best Freddy. Well, if you go by the Tommy Tapes play, it shows that he was readmitted to a mental institution and still keeping tabs on Jason somehow. But he is being mentally tortured by Freddy Krueger. So, I mean, if you get rid of the aspect of crossover, they can still keep that going to where he went just as crazy after part 6. Which makes sense because he wasn't really that stable to begin with. Like, that fucking trench coat. Yeah, he looked really foreboding in the trench coat. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I prefer him without it. At least the movie continuity Freddy, I do prefer him without it. But right there, you can't deny how foreboding he looks. So how are they in the comics? Extremely dark. Like, the Joker alone in the comics has done some shit that they probably would never put on film. Batman is essentially a man whore. Like, I believe when I first picked up one of the issues of one of the New 52 comics for Batman, instantly having sex with Catwoman with the cowl on, and they're like yelling shit at each other, and it's like some rough shit. Not to mention the amount of blood and death that surrounds each Batman story, because he's a detective. He solves mysteries that involve murders of others. That's what makes his villain so dangerous. Making it kid-friendly would take that element away. JG, do you think the Crystal Lake Murders Revisited series of specials on DVD is canon? They mentioned Tommy after Jason lives on it. I don't know, to be quite honest. I did watch them, and they're very interesting, but it's hard to say right now what they consider canon. I mean, you could consider the game tapes as canon, which a lot of people at least consider the Pamela tapes canon. But they don't consider the Tommy tapes canon just because of the crossovers. So it's like a toss-up in the air for fans to keep whatever is their own headcanon to fit all the pieces in. Yeah, because they do mention Leslie Vernon on there too, don't they, Dad? Which, incidentally, Leslie Vernon is connected to Black Christmas, which kind of makes that, if you think the Tommy tapes in its entirety are canon, then Leslie Vernon is canon. And if Leslie Vernon is canon, so is Black Christmas. I mean, Batman plans to take down the Justice. He has plans to take down the Justice League. I think he has plans to fight VD as well. You have a good night, Devin. Into the slasherverse. So is that a pterodactyl flying? Did anybody else catch that? Was that like a pterodactyl flying around in the entity's lair? I do remember that too, Metaluna. God, does James Bond not have that? Plot armor. It's the perfect it's the perfect condom for him. So how far are we into the film? We are 1 hour and 35 minutes in. Currently, Nancy is finding Wes's script in the entity's lair. He's just like tossing her ass all around. Snakes, I'd have freaked the fuck out. I don't know what it is. Like how thick they made Robert in that makeup, but when it's lit like that, I swear he looks like Ed O'Neill. Looks like if Ed O'Neill played Freddy. Like, why didn't he just cut her throat there? I don't know why Dylan looked like one of the puppets from Puppet Master there. Like stabbing Freddy in the leg. Yeah, I full on believe part 2 Freddy would kick this Freddy's ass. Hands down. Just from that scene alone, kind of showed me that. Tommy gonna kill half the slashers with the flick of his wrists. Unless Freddy cuts it. He's gonna sacrifice Jason's soul for the stone. Jason for the soul stone. I mean, for an all-powerful entity that this Freddy is supposed to be, he just comes off as really weak. There's no way you can tie that in with the other Fridays, Zygo. Because of the hockey mask, how he gets it, and the time frame. Like, mostly due to Pamela dies canon. Absolutely canon. Pamela dies in the original series in 1979. In the remake that they did in '09, she dies in 1980. Okay, fair enough. But Jason was born in 1946. He drowned in 1957. So by that standard, in 1980, he should have been an adult. If we took '09 at its word, that Friday the 13th is canon, then Jason would have already have been an adult because they didn't have any supernatural elements in this. And Jason watched his mother get beheaded. So there would have been no... He watched his mother... Or his mother died and that brought him back from the dead. That's not a possibility. Alright, hard boy, I'll see you later, my friend. Might pop in on your stream a little bit later. You have a good stream, my friend. Kind of looked like she stabbed him in the dick. Yeah, that's such an Evil Dead move. Although that looks like it would feel and probably smell extremely nasty. You have a good night, hard boy, if I don't make it over there. But I'll do my best after the stream, my friend. That look alone is fucking hilarious. So I wonder if that's where they got the demon form of Freddy from Freddy vs. Jason. Oh, for Freddy vs. Jason, not from. See, the only way that would work, Ty, is if you shift the time when Jason was born. That would be the only way that would work. With him still being a kid and being obviously alive before Pamela dies. Like, if you wanted to do the whole thing that Jason came back and he was a kid when Pamela died and then he just rapidly grown into an adult, that'd be one thing. But Jason is definitively pretty much shown on there that he's alive when Pamela is fighting, I guess, their would-be Alice. Yeah, Death. I think what they're talking about with the Crystal Lake Revisited, I think that is on YouTube. I watched it on YouTube. I don't know if it's still on there, but I do think it. That's where I found it, so I assume it should still be on there. Poster Freddy is creepy. Yeah, I like that poster a lot. All right, all right. It was a fun little movie. Fun little movie. Like a little nice little YouTube movie. Nah, it's a good Wes Craven movie. I mean, I like it. I like it. But I still think when we start going into the 90s, as far as horror movies go from Wes Craven, he'll never outdo himself with Scream and, to me, Wishmaster. All right, but that was Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Click that. Always an interesting showing watching some of these movies, especially when I haven't watched them in a good long time. So you can't wait for tomorrow. I can't either. I want to get my hands on some more Dead by Daylight, at least on the stream. Of course, Ghost Abbey will be here with me. But that's going to do it for me for the night, guys. I'm going to jump off here. Glad you had a good time, Chuck. Glad everybody stuck around with me, like to watch Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Yeah, Hills Have Eyes 2 by Wes was bad. I agree with that. So you're going to go over to Horror Boy stream? Yeah, everyone hit up Horror Boy stream. That should be, he does a lot of interesting things. Like that list I saw was really good. Said don't do the remake. I got to, Ghostface. Husky fan. I got to. As much as I don't want to, I got to. But it'll be Sunday. We'll be doing Freddy vs. Jason rewatch. Monday, we will be doing the 2010 remake of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Then gameplay stream, and then after that, we begin Texas Chainsaw. But like I said, thank you guys for sticking around. Of course, for anybody, Gabe with the super chat. I can't. Thank you. I can't even get out the words. But I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow for some Dead by Daylight. Until then, hope you guys have a good night. And as always, I am JG Darhk. And thanks for watching.